Hello, this is Lionel Zen. Thank you very much for joining this recording as well. We're going to have a talk and lecture here with infographics. I'm going to explain a few things. This is what I see, this is what I know, this is what I get, this is what I want here to, what I come here to teach you. And I want you to see and enjoy and wisen. It's going to be a great, fun, informational, knowledgeable lecture. Thank you very much. So this lecture, infographics, is going to start, as you can see. God bless you, Lord of love. I begin. As you can see on for this first page, we're going to have just 3 pages. So the first page is going to present this, and this means, the meaning of this is that you can treasure, you can island, and you can navigate. Okay, there is treasure, there is island, and there is navigator. Okay, so it starts from a dot or a spot or a circle, a very small circle that is filled. Okay, it's a circle, but it's a dot. So it starts from a dot, it goes on to a line, and then it becomes the isosceles, the triangle. Okay, now the triangle that is the isosceles is the sound of L. Oh, okay. So what we get is, as we can see, so now that's going to be, that you can see on the top right. Now on the top left you can see the 2 circles, one within the other, one inside the other. And this means, if you remember from the last infographic lecture, this means parallelation. Okay, so what we get is that we know that parallelation is that we have parallelity, and it goes on to other dimensions. Now once we have parallelation, it goes with inside and outside. Okay, from within us. We are inside this world. We're inside this dimension. It's inside us and outside of us. The dimensions as well. Okay, so it's about, I explained in the last infographic, the speeds and the area and all of that. So now, as you can see on the top left side of this page, there are 2 circular arrows. One goes to one side and the other goes to the other side, contradictional side. These are 2 different dimensions. Yeah. So one dimension has one direction of flow, and the other outside of it has another direction of flow, and the inside will be the other, and the outside next will be the other from the last one. So this means that this is the way we operate. So it's all inside us, and inside us what we have is we have a flow, and each dimension has one direction of flow and the other next to it. The one next to it is going to have the other, the oppositional direction of flow. Okay? So now I want you to look at the bottom part to the right of this page. So you can see that the triangle of L, the isosceles, is showing the 2 direction with the 2 circular arrows showing the 2 direction of flow. It starts from L. All of the dimensions and the areas starts from L, and these are, so we have the angle of 90 degrees, and then we have the 2 directions of flow in circularity. That is direction of a circle. Don't forget that this is the direction of a circle. So one side into the other. So it starts from these 2. It starts from L, and then it goes to one direction of flow, and it goes to the other, the opposite direction of flow, and the next it will be the opposite, and the next the opposite, and so on. And this is what we are. This is the flow that we are, and every time it's the other direction. In the next dimension, it's going to be the opposite direction of flow. So now what we have is we have this. We have that all of this is a question of it's a story of questioning laughter. Our life is a story of questioning laughter. So you question and question and question. What do you find? There's no real reason to laugh. We want to be happy, we laugh. It's good to laugh, it's healthy to laugh. But the story of questioning laughter is eventually say there is no reason to laugh. It's not good. Okay, this is my teaching. So we don't need to laugh, and we should not laugh. So now what we have on this story of questioning laughter, we have moving as self, so to and in, minus and plus of self. This is to treasure, navigate, and island. Now, after it starts from L, we have to be either our value in a plus or our value in a minus. We are x, which means repeat, if you remember from the last infographic. X means that what we are just a repeat of the dimension of this L, okay? And this is what we just repeat what exists, and now we can be either plus or minus of what we are, of what we repeat. We can be minus and plus. And this is how it goes on. This is the cycle, minus and plus, minus and plus. So, we have the treasure navigating island by moving as self, minus and plus. And we have that moving as self, this is in the emphasis on the self. Moving as self, so makes the direction of flow opposite to itself on each parallelization. So the direction of flow comes from us, that is us, the parallelization, the next parallel is also us, where we reach to, for accomplishment. We've accomplished this level, so we go on to the next, or the one before it. If we've accomplished, we go to the next that fits the next. Now, so moving as self is what makes the direction of flow opposite to itself on each parallelization, on the next parallelization to come. Now, what we get is we get that we have 3 stages, 1, 2, 3 dot, line, and then the isosceles, the triangle. And we also have it to be 4 stages. So first of all, we're going to go to the next page. So the next page shows on the top right side of the page, you can see numbers 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're using an isosceles. Now, the first one is not actually the dot, it means nothing or outside. To be outside means to be nothing, okay? To be outside means to be nothing from the outside from the dimension. So, or outside in general, the idea of outside that you fulfill. So nothing is outside, outside is nothing. It starts from nothing, and then it starts from dot, and then it's a line, and then it's an isosceles. That is where it starts. Okay? Now, what we get is we need to remember that from this page, what we're going to have is we're going to have that nothing and outside is one of the values that construct the isosceles, and after it there are values to it. It starts from nothing, dot, line, triangle, isosceles. The values are nothing or outside, and then it's movie or name, that is your story or your name, that is your story. Then we have a line that is forever, what is going to happen forever, and then we have 4 that is the teaching. Now forever, now I will explain. Nothing is outside, nothing equals to outside, so this is the first step, to be outside. The second step, that is just the dot, is the movie or your name, that is 2. Here we have 2 definitions, movie or name. Movie and name, these are very close. A name and a movie are very close, they are the same, but it's going to be the 2 definitions. One is movie, one is name. The movie is your story, and the name is your name. While these are very close, so I recommend you to understand that your name given to you from birth is something that does not have to be too much weight, does not have to be too significant. What you want is you want it to be less significant than the name you choose for yourself. I recommend you to choose a name for yourself. You can even add it to your ID, and this is your name. And then you have this. Then you have the name given to you to affect you, because it does affect you. You can have 0 significance to it, but it has some effect. You can have less or more effect, as much as you like it, as much as you see fitting. And then it's by choice, and it's a part of your life either way. So this is the dot, and this is your story and name. Story and name, this is your dot. The third line, the third step, that is the line, the straight line, is forever. Now forever, if you remember from my teaching, I said that forever is something that is not good to happen. So you have been through something negative, a negative experience, and now you have forever. A forever for you and a forever for another. One is the committing and one is the victim. And one is, or 2 are victims or 3 are victims by an incident, an accident. So this is 3. Now we have 3 that is forever. And then we have 4 that is the teaching. Now you teach, and this is the isosceles, and this is where it starts from. And this is the build of the isosceles. There is the build of the isosceles, and the build of L, and the build of the start is, this is not all that L, that is the second L, okay? There is the first L, this is the second L. You can choose it as the first, it doesn't matter. is the isosceles. It means in the sound, the shape of it means L in the sound of it. Now, so he goes to the teaching. So the isosceles, where it starts from, the L, is all built from nothing or being outside, movie or name, being something to happen forever, and then we have the teaching where it starts. This is all of it. To begin your life, to begin the dimension. Yeah, and we are just a repeat of it. Okay, so this is this. So, what we can see is that one of the four has two definitions, as I explained beforehand. Movie and name. The fifth has no definition. So, not only do we start from nothing or being outside, we also start from no definition at all. So first, no definition at all, and then it's nothing, but we're not going to go to it right now. It's just about the words, the values that are a part of this scheme. All of these values, we start from 5 that it has no definition, and because it's going to stay within the 4. While the second, or the first, or the last, whatever you choose, right, where to put it, is going to be, whatever it's going to be, the fifth, the one that has no definition is, where we start from, it's the 5, it's the 5 either way, and one of the 4 holds 2 values. Movie and name are the 2 values it holds. So this holds 2 values, anyway, it's not going to be the 5, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, or 4. This is what I'm trying to say. We start from no definition at all, goes to, and then nothing outside, movie or name, forever, and teaching. And this is the end of the isosceles, and then we are. And then there's the directional flow of being self. And then we have a self. So you have already taught, and this is how you are. This is how you became. This is your form, your mind, your soul, your body. Yeah, all of this is your teaching. Is a part of your teaching because you decided to teach after that forever happened to you something unfortunate. After having a name, after having a story, or beginning of a story, after being nothing, or being outside that is equals to nothing. This is innocence, and this is beauty. Now, when X is separated from the area, so starts innocent beauty from all of these. Nothing, outside, movie, name, forever, teaching. Okay? When X is separated from the area, so starts innocence. Now, as you can see on the bottom left side, we can see that this is the same I drew in last infographical lecture and talk. You can see that the area drawn with squiggly line, yeah, the area drawn with black squiggly line is separated from X. X is beside it. And we have 4 diagrams of it, and we can see that X is not inside the area. The area is what we see. The area is what we see. We have the dimension that is L, and we have the area that is how much we can grasp. So the more we are sophisticated, the more area we get to see. So people, let's say enlightened people next to us, see more area than you inside this dimension, and they reach the maximum capability of this dimension. They see more area. Okay? So each of these X's on the bottom left side, each of the X's is separated from the area drawn next to it. One is an ellipse, the other is the accomplishment and area drawn. Okay, the draw of the cross slanted is something of accomplishment. It's almost perfect accomplishment, and this is how it goes on. Our life goes on as this, with these lines. It goes on to next accomplishments, to next dimensions, to other dimensions. Now, this is also in the movement of being plus or minus of yourself, X and plus. Now, X needs to be separated from the area, so you separate yourself from what you recept. And this is how it starts, innocent beauty from. So you can see that once X is separated from where it lives at, from the dimension and the area, and mostly the area, not the dimension, because you cannot separate yourself from the dimension, you just move on to the next dimension. So when you separate yourself from the area of this dimension, only then starts, again, the start of life, of nothing, movie, name, forever, and teaching. That is the isosceles, the triangle. So, we need to separate ourselves to reach again the start, to regain the start. We need to separate ourselves from the area, from the the start, and then there is flow of self, of having a self, and then there are the flows of the opposite directions from each parallel, from one parallelation to the next. But to reach parallelation, if you remember, the next dimension means to accomplish this dimension, this level. So it's not possible to be inside two dimensions at once with a grasp, surely not more than two. We're moving from one to the other, accomplishing this dimension, and it's what it has for us to learn, yeah, and accomplish and succeed at. And then there is the next flow, and minus x and plus x. So the minus x and plus x again is about being the self, to have a self, and then there is opposite direction. So we can say that if you don't have a self, then there is no direction and opposite direction from one parallelation to the other. The flow holds. Having a self, not having a self. Having a self, not having a self. Having flow, not having flow. Having flow, not having flow. Well, the flow is going to be in opposite direction by having a self. Okay? So this is this. Starts from L. L comes from nothing or outside. Movie name, forever teaching. All of this is from innocence, to be separated from the area. So this is innocence. So innocence and then L, or L and then innocence, it goes on. Innocence, L, L, innocence. Innocence, L, L, innocence. Innocence is beauty. Okay, L is nothing or outside. Movie name, forever teaching. All of these four conclude. Okay, that is this type of L. Now, what you need to remember, that to have minus and plus of yourself, it needs all five. To have a minus and plus of yourself, in general, you need all of these five. Nothing outside, movie name, forever, and teaching. If you will not complete all of these five, then you cannot have minus and plus of yourself, both. So you need to understand, so practice gives you to practice to be nothing or to be outside. Practice gives you to recept accordingly the movie or your name. Practice brings you to understand forever, no return, and practice helps you to give teaching. All of this is within you, all of this is outside of you, and you need to practice it in order to have minus and plus of yourself. Of your repeat, you repeat and repeat, you just repeat what exists in this dimension. But you want to have minus and plus so that there will be flow in general. So that there will be flow in general, whether it will be opposite or not opposite from one parallelation to the other. If you will not do these five, then there will not be minus and plus of yourself, the values, and then there will be no flow then there will be no flow at all, no next, no parallelation. There's nothing to move to. Not only that not that it is calm, it does not exist for you. Yeah, it does not exist unless you do the five. So this is the five. These are the five. And then we have, again, to have them in, to have a self or not to have a self, calm or not calm, calm or not calm. Okay, this is the second page. Now the third page and last page we're going to have is we're going to see that we have to speak about liberation. On the top left side we can see the symbol of liberation. Below it to the left we can see the symbol, so there is liberation. Below it to the left is continuity, basic continuity, that is half of liberation. And then we have on the bottom right side the other half of liberation, there is continuity of two other. So the basic continuity is the continuity of the same continuity you're at, and the other half of liberation is continuity two of another continuity. So the half of liberation is drawn as half of liberation. The basic continuity is drawn as exactly half of the symbol of liberation, and the symbol of other continuity to other, is drawn as something else. It is such as a circular X, wide spreaded circular X. Now, liberation is continuity itself to not be paused or cut off. Liberation is continuity itself to not be paused or cut off. All of continuity is liberation. Now, continuity is half of liberation, and the other half is to be full as existence. Now, listen to this. I know that half of liberation is both continuities, okay? And the other half of liberation is to be as full as existence. That is the basic continuity. Okay? As full as existence, the basic continuity. So you can see that as two halves or two thirds that are full. Two halves that are just a half. Two halves that are two quarters. Also two halves that are two thirds. And then we have being full as existence. Yes, we have again the basic continuity and the continuity to other to be either all of them half of liberation, both of them half of liberation, both of them one liberation, or both of them two thirds of liberation, while the other third or the other half is going to be full as existence, to be equal to either half or one third. Now, one u, u is going to be u, one u for one direction of either the basic continuity or continuity to other, and two for other directions, which are going to be marked as L or Z. So one direction is going to be U, two U's is going to be already L and Z, and one direction is going to be the direction of following continuity of other or continuity of self, that is U, and two of these are going to be L and Z, which are for other directions. One direction is L, one direction is Z, because you have two directions. Yeah, these are wider angles. Good. So this is this. Now you can see on the middle left side, repeat, that is us, that is X. We repeat what is the dimension, equals to level. We level with the things around us, with the life, with the things, with the what is to move us. Okay? We level. Now, to be X is to be continuity when it cuts off. To be continuity, but when it cuts off. So we are continuity, but we are cut off. We stand, we are still. Yeah, we are still. We explained many things about being still, and it matters from the last infographical. Being still is being immediate. Yeah. So this, and then we have but we're going to discuss that we are continuity when it cuts off. Now, if it cuts off, so what we can also say is we can say that so to level is to continue other continuities in liberation. To level is to continue other continuities in liberation. And at the bottom part, we have again the drawing of the minus 6 and plus 6 from the self, from the 5 with the directional flow of the self. In the middle we have full, that is the dimension. We are full as existence. And this is this. Well, yeah. So to level is to continue other continuities in liberation. We are a continuity that is exactly cut off, and we continue other continuities in liberation. We must reach liberation, the basic continuity or the continuity of other to other, and this is liberation. Now, directions and one direction, two directions. One direction is obvious, two direction is an angle. Basically, this is the end of the lecture. Two directions would be to level. Yeah, you can level with a few things. We have many directions. We are not, we are not one direction. We can reach one direction, and then we can reach more direction. One direction, many direction. One direction, but basically what we are is we are many direction, and then we can say many. Well, we are one direction. It does not matter. But you understand. But you need to understand that level is many directions. So we are many directions. Okay, we are one life, many directions, because we level with a lot of different things. We level with continuity. Yeah, continuity of what? We are just a repeat. We are just a repeat. So we continue liberation. We continue to level. Yeah, even the level is because of repeat. We continue existence. We continue direction, because but all of this is because we level. Okay, all of this is because we level with things. So we have many different directions. What do you level with? Do you level, what teaching do you level with? Do you level with your name? Do you level with your story? Do you level with this forever? Do you level with this teaching? Yeah, do you level with these? What do you see from this? Yeah, do you level with do you level with respect? Yeah? Do you level with respect? Do you level... This is the best value. Do you level with respect? This is the hardest thing to level with, to think about it. Because everybody is rude. Everyone is rude. So what do we have? Ouch. We have that we need to level with respect and other great values such as respect. The respect will be the hardest to value with, because it's easy to be rude. Yeah, it's easy to see respect, to understand it, but it's hard to respect it. So, but this is the best value to level with. Yeah, respect first. So this is this. Now, once we understand that this is to level, and after level we have many directions. The level. What other values? Beauty. Well, do you level with beauty? What else do you level with? Do you level with sadness? Do you level with sadness? Yeah, I love sadness, so I probably level with sadness. What else? Do you level with happiness? Do you level with happiness? Do you level with sympathy? Do you level... Yeah? You understand me? Empathy? Do you level with empathy? Yeah? All of this. So, all of this. And now, when we have ended this lecture, we understand that we have many directions again, and this is how we reach all of these things, because we level with them in understanding, and this is how we have many directions, and then we have one direction that is us, that is the life, that is the heart. Sure? Great. Thank you very much. God bless you all. This was Lionel Zen. This was infographical lecture, and I will see you in the next recording.